Structuring backlogs to support UX work in Agile is tough. There are different methods that all come with their own pros and cons. In this video, we'll discuss one method, which is utilizing a separate UX backlog. A separate UX backlog is exactly what it sounds like. You have your product backlog that includes all of your development team's epics, features, and bugs, and then you have a separate backlog dedicated specifically to UX work. This can be in Jira or your preferred project management software, a Kanban board, or just stickies on a whiteboard. Whatever formality works best for your team. This method can work well for UX teams that feel siloed away from development teams. Maybe they're part of a marketing or design team rather than being embedded on a development team. It can also work for development teams that have multiple UX team members with different specialties. As I mentioned before, all methods come with pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. First, UX is completely in charge of their own backlog. They get to decide what each item entails, which doesn't necessarily bind them to sprints. Along with this, there's more of an ability to plan ahead for backlog items. If teams are struggling to keep up with long-term research projects because they don't naturally fit into a 2 or 3 week sprint, this is a great method to separate the work. Recruiting users, creating test tasks, and conducting usability studies don't always fit perfectly into short iterations like we're used to in Agile. And finally, there's more opportunity to design at an epic level rather than trying to design more granularly to fit user stories. Sometimes when we design at such a granular level, we end up making design decisions that come together to make Frankenstein's monster rather than thinking of the bigger picture. Along with the pros of using a separate backlog come some drawbacks. If your organization does a lot of tracking of velocity, we've now introduced the concept of a separate UX velocity from your development teams. Some teams don't experience this as an issue, but if velocity is heavily tracked and reported against in your organization, this could be a potential deal breaker. The biggest con of using a separate backlog is that you risk working too far ahead of the development team, and you may end up losing valuable work. My rule of thumb here is to make sure you're not working any more than 3 sprints ahead. Anytime you're working ahead of the development team, you could lose work. So focus on work that will move your team ahead, even if features get deprioritized. This means that you're looking at business goals and persona development rather than pixel-perfect feature designs. Using a separate UX backlog is just one of many methods of structuring your Agile backlog. If this method sounds like it could work on your team, test it out, see how it works for you. If it backfires, know that there's other methods out there that may also work for your situation.